Hey, Janice.
Hi, Anthony.
Today we're going to talk about when an heir won't leave the house. So what do you do when one of your heirs won't leave the family home? What can you do? Pretty common situation. Let me just flesh that out a little bit more. Mom passes away, survived by 3 kids. But guess what? Son was living with her, adult son, was living with her while, when she passed away, and he has a good deal. He doesn't want to leave. So
Right.
what can be done? What can the other siblings do? What can the rest of the heirs do about it? Okay.
Absolutely. And I think it's very common. We've seen this quite a bit.
Yeah. I mean, a lot. All right. So why won't the heir leave? I mean, let's just be blunt. It's free rent, or at least significantly reduced rent. Let's say, oh, but I'm paying the electricity bill. That's not rent.
No, rent, maintenance. Yeah.
So that happens a lot. And there's also a sense of entitlement, where, hey, I was the one who lived with mom and took care of her the last few years. Like, what's the big deal if I stay here a couple more months or years or decades, right?
Right.
I mean, there might be truth to that, but I'm just explaining what the rationale is on why folks don't leave. Yeah.
Yep.
And then lastly, you have really just the whole litany of dog ate my homework excuses. We get this a lot.
We've heard it all.
Yeah. And not just in this situation, but in a lot of estate type situations. But, oh, my foot hurts. I can't move right now.
Right.
Or I want to wait till the spring when the school year shifts. That actually might make sense, when
Sure.
I don't want to move in the middle of the school year because I have kids. Or what else have we heard, Janice? Can you think of any off the top of your head?
Oh, I mean, I don't have time. I have something coming up. I'm busy. I'm planning this. I have, It's expensive to move. It's cold. It's cold. You name it. I don't want to move. It's cold. It's, it's too hard.
Again, we're not saying these excuses are justifiable. We're just saying we've heard it all.
We have heard it all. Yes. But I think the number one is the entitlement and the
free rent, or
right?
reduced rent. Yeah. It's pretty much
Can you imagine living in New York with free rent?
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty much it. Okay. So then you have an heir, a sibling, a cousin, a nephew, whatever, living who won't leave. Can you evict that heir? Short answer is yes, but it's a tough battle.
Yeah.
So in New York and many states, evictions are generally not that easy.
No.
Yeah, you have notice requirements. There's a lot of presumptions that the tenants have rights. They get a lot of adjournments, or I guess extensions.
Yes, a lot of extensions.
So we're talking at least 6 or 9 months, if not years, to get rid of somebody. Okay, in a normal situation.
Yes.
Now add to that an heir is often a partial owner. So in our situation, where mom passed away, survived by 3 adult kids, and one of those adult kids is living there, that adult child is a 1/3 owner, even if he leaves, right?
Right.
So now you're not just evicting a tenant, you're evicting a part owner, which makes things. I know it's like, what's the difference? But it does make a small difference, at least psychologically, with the landlord-tenant court judge. Excuse me.
Yeah.
So that just adds to what's already a difficult situation. And on top of that, evicting your brother is pretty awkward.
Right. It's going to make Thanksgiving a little different this year, right?
Yeah. Hey, did you get those? Did you get those papers from the processor I sent over to you?
Here, pass the plate. Oh, and while we're at it, cutting the turkey, here's your eviction.
Yeah. So, So one pro tip that we've seen in the past is where to avoid that super awkwardness. Well, not even just awkwardness. It could really devastate families and just
absolutely
create irreparable rifts. One way to help avoid that is to use somebody else as the bad guy, whether it's a professional executor or the lawyer. Or here's a good one. If the home is a condo or co-op or has a homeowners association, kind of use them as the bad guy and maybe make a call to the managing agent and say, hey, I don't know if my mom passed away. Do you need to be vacant? Because we're okay with you evicting my brother.
We are fine if you wanted to. Yeah. So you said, 6-9 months on a good day, but what else too is how expensive that is for the estate. You could be dipping in severely to inheritances just dealing with, the legal fees to do the eviction.
And not to mention the opportunity costs, meaning all those months that brother or nephew or whoever is not paying rent.
Yep.
That's income that's not being generated, and realistically, you're never going to get that money back.
No, and you have to pay it. I mean, you can't leave there with the maintenance bill.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be paid. The lawyers have to be paid. Yeah, it just becomes expensive for someone to be living free.
Totally. Okay, so then lastly, how about buying out the heir? And this is more often than you would think, the resolution. You pay him to leave. And I know it doesn't feel great. Like, he's supposed to leave. Why should I pay him on top of that? I know it doesn't feel great, but it's a cost-benefit analysis. Everything we just talked about, the months of headache, the legal fees, the lost maintenance or mortgage payments. What does that all add up to? And if there's a number lower than that, or even comparable to that, to just get him to leave and move on, and then add on to that a bonus kicker just to relieve everyone of their stress. Again, I know it's not fair and it doesn't feel great, but it could be it's often the best solution.
Better solution. I think we talked about this before. I'll have to find that podcast because I know we broke down the cost benefit analysis. I'll find that one. But yeah, it's true. I mean, you got to look at if it's going to cost X amount to leave them there, but yeah. And it might make the Thanksgiving dinners a little more
he'll be happy.
The family, right.
So you don't start off with that big number that we just calculated. You start off something small, like, hey, what if we all agree that the estate would cover your moving costs, right?
Yeah.
Would that help you, get over your 101 dog ate my homework excuses, and then slowly build up until he actually leaves,
Yeah. No, that's a good way to look at it. But that's where having a professional executor comes in, like you said, because you are not part of the family. You're not going to sit with them at dinner, and you can make these decisions that'll be a little easier for the family, right?
Yeah. Theoretically, yeah.
In theory, yes, definitely. So if you want to learn more, Anthony's book, How Probate Works, available on Amazon.
Perfect. Hopefully this covers a situation that not hopefully, I don't hope you're going through this situation, but if
right.
you're going through it, hopefully this helps you understand that it happens often and there's ways to hopefully deal with it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you, Janice, as always. Thanks, everyone, for listening. We'll talk soon next time. Bye now.
Talk soon.